We're geeking out over USB large diaphragm microphones. We're going to do that next on Geekazine. If you're planning to do some podcasting or music recording, you might be in the market for a USB microphone. Large diaphragm microphones are great for capturing a full range of sound for vocal or instrument, and they can be also placed in an area to capture sound rather than right at your mouth. Let's turn off both of these microphones because they do cause a little bit of an echo here. We're looking at two large diaphragm USB microphones, the Monoprice 600-801 and the IK Multimedia iRig Mic Studio. I'm recording straight from the microphones with no post-processing. We will not do any effects, EQ, so it might sound a little bit lower in volume. Might have to turn up your volume a little bit. Levels will definitely be different as we go, but you should be able to hear all the results that each microphone gives. By the way, I did get product from both Monoprice and IK Multimedia, but all opinions on this are my own. We'll start out with this, the Monoprice 600-801 USB microphone. This is a 6-micron sputtered diaphragm microphone with a 22mm capsule inside. The microphone records 16-bit 44.1 to 48 kilohertz audio. The USB-B cable allows for connection to PC or Mac. However, it will not connect to an iOS device because it uses too much power. There are no controls on the 600-801. It's kind of relative to an AT2020 mic. You'll have to adjust the volume through your input area on your PC or Mac, which can create a slight hum on there. The microphone with the stand is about 6 inches high and 2.36 inches wide. You can adjust the tilt on the stand, but of course if you need more height, you're going to have to attach to another microphone stand. You'll also have to buy a shock mount separate. The sound of the microphone is great for a YouTube voiceover or maybe a podcast or something like that. For around $75 to $90, you can get the microphone, the stand, a 15-foot USB cable, and padded case. Now, prices do vary through time and demand. Here are some samples without any windscreens or any type of post-processing. Vocals while holding the microphone and on the table, and of course next to my acoustic guitar. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The iRig Mic Studio from IK Multimedia has more features and does allow for iOS or Android connection. The iRig Studio is smaller than the Monoprice and also has a preamp inside so you can adjust straight from the microphone. There is a headphone jack in back so you can hear what you are recording. Now, both of these microphones have response frequencies of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, which makes this perfect for capturing instruments of any range and voices of any range as well. The iRig Studio can record in 24-bit 48 kHz. Now, the capsule inside the studio is called a back electret, which is a different type of capsule that uses less power to keep charged. A good comparison, your old landline telephone receiver would have been a back electret condenser. Now, in the 70s, the back electret capsules really weren't that great, but the technology has advanced, especially in the last few years, and the electret capsules give out a lot better sound. The iRig Mic Studio will actually cost you a little bit more at about $179. For the extra features, the size, the ability to connect to iOS or Android, along with apps that can change the sound of the microphone. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. In all, both of these microphones have good sound and are pretty solid. The iRig Studio has a little bit more functionality for a higher price, whereas the Monoprice 600-801 is great for putting on a shock mount stand and using in many different ways. Now, one other thing that I noticed is when I boosted the audio on this on my PC, there was a little bit of a hum, whereas when I hooked it up to the Mac and did the boost, that hum was not there. So it probably had something to do with some cross wires inside the PC, but I'm not 100% sure how that worked. However, it does have a great sound when I moved it over to the Mac, so if I hooked it up to my laptop, I should be able to get just as good of a sound. But the question is, what do you use for a large diaphragm USB microphone? If you're using one, let me know. Tweet me over at Geekazine or geekazine@gmail.com. Until next time, you guys geek out. We'll see ya, and take care.